sir.
You see, with great taste comes great responsibility.
Tell me those aren't socks and sandals, Klein.
A beer with character deserves a man with character. We have to reflect that.
Ineligible.
Everybody who's a senior, stand up.
Now look at the name on the jersey and think about the teams in the past that have worn that name.
Hey, cheeseburger, pick it up.
Very nice. Finish at the end. Very nice. Good job, Megan. Appreciate it.
Come on, guys. Punch out two more. Punch out two more.
Your finest moment is on the other side of the It's time to strap up. We train with a scream, with a dream of a ring. We're champions spelled out by the name of the team. I'm in love with this time of the year. I've been anxiously waiting, and now new season is finally here. A lot of vets play the game before me, and one of them told me never trade in your passion for glory. It's all time to shine this year. It's official like a rep with a whistle. The countdown is here. Now you know it's football when boomers up in the house. Iron Mike's on the side, pacing waiting to bounce. Steve Dog, the Hall of Fame QB. Everybody pay attention while TJ runs the D. Michael Irvin know the game like the suits he be wearing. This is the right time for opinions to be shared. Get ready for big hits in the roll of the drive before the toss of the goal and NFL countdown.
Old Spice Red Zone presents Sunday NFL Countdown.
Good morning and welcome to the kickoff Sunday edition of Sunday's ESPN's NFL Countdown. The 2005 season upon us. After a nice appetizer Thursday night in New England, we're ready to go full bore into opening day. Hi, everybody. Glad you could be with us. Chris Berman along with you with Hall of Famer Steve Young.
Thank you very much, Boomer. 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
5 years.
Michael Irvin.
You'll understand this in a second.
Michael Irvin, soon to be Hall of Famer.
Thank you, Boom.
Tom Jackson. Now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 19 seasons.
Let's all
with
say it
Tom.
together.
19 years with Tom. Good to be back in our home base. Mort will be by shortly, Coach Ditka, and our usual cast of thousands. But, of course, amidst all the merriment, let's us not forget what day it is. 9/11, 4 years removed. A deadly Hurricane Katrina, less than just 2 weeks removed from its devastation. The New Orleans Saints surely will not forget any of this as they find themselves displaced like so many other folks from the city and the region that they represent, wondering when and if they can ever go home. Today, somehow, some way, the Saints, who've been practicing and living in San Antonio, Texas, will play a football game. Eerily, they begin this season where they ended last season, when things were so much different, in Carolina, to face a Panthers team that many are predicting to make the Super Bowl. After all, Carolina was there just 2 seasons ago. To Charlotte we go, and Ed Werder, who has been with the Saints all week. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Boomer. It has been 2 weeks of emotional upheaval for the Saints. In fact, NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue wanted to address the Saints at their final team meeting here last night, but Coach Jim Haslett respectfully denied the request, not only because of all of the tension between the league and the team over its future scheduling, but because Haslett wanted to be the only voice in the room. According to players, Haslett told them he knows they've been through hell already, that more adversity still awaits, and that everybody on the outside believes the Saints season is over before it even begins, and that they'll use the hurricane and its aftermath as an excuse for their failure. Finally, Haslett read the players a letter from New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin, or he attempted to. He said it was so emotional he couldn't get through it, and he turned it over to Ricky Porter, a member of the community relations staff, who similarly struggled. The room went silent, according to players. There were tears among all of the players. And finally, Boomer, Joe Horn told me, we took it all in, and today we're going to let it all out.
Well, they're going to do the best they can. We know that, Ed. Thank you, and plenty more later in the show from Ed, who's been with the Saints this past weekend in San Antonio as they somehow prepared for this game. I mean, it seems odd to discuss it in this way, but Steve, I mean, and guys, How tough will this really be today, all season for the New Orleans Saints?
Well, for a moment, let's just talk about the challenge to play great football, which will be, very, very difficult. Football, in its nature, is choreography, it's dance step, it's consistency, and right now, nothing is consistent in the New Orleans Saints' life. It's absolutely very, very foreign. Absolutely all of it is foreign, where they sleep, where they eat, where they meet, where they practice, and especially where they play. I think is an insurmountable task to ask the Saints to have success this season. Not as an excuse, but just of what they're going through. If they have success, I believe it has to be heaven sent.
And that's why they have to be judged by a different standard, not only today, but I think for the entire season. When you think about coaches, they coach in increments of 4 games. You look at the Saints' first 4 games. We're going to go at Carolina, at the Giants, at Minnesota, and then the Buffalo Bills at somewhere else. 16 games, at least 10 different venues. I don't think you can overcome that. And, quite honestly, there was an element of distraction to the Saints already. And now you're asking them to overcome somehow, emotionally, the most devastating tragedy in the history of this country. I just don't think they can do it.
Well, Tom and guys, I love playing football. I love talking about it here with you guys. And I've always used the football field as a sanctuary to get away from the hectic day-to-day life. But I try to put my head around this, and I try to wrap my head around putting myself in their position right now and having to get ready for a football game. And every day as I sit around the hotel rooms, all you see are reminders of what went on in New Orleans, and you're thinking about all of the things that's going on and all of the people and what they're going through. And I say to myself, there's no way I could be playing football right now. So the moment they step onto the football field, all we saying is it's fine. But the moment they step onto the football field, for me, they are champions, man, because they're doing something that a lot of people just can't do.
Well, you guys were great football players, and any football player to get on there, it takes a lot of heart. And obviously the Saints will play with a lot of heart today. Certainly reminiscent, of the New York teams 4 years ago, what we just talked about, who were cheered on the road, and I'm sure the Saints are going to be applauded by Carolina fans today, as the New York Giants, eerily, next Monday night in the Saints' home opener in New York, they will cheer for them as well. But, if some weeks the Saints don't have it, this is a long season. Today, I think they're going to
have a lot of emotion.
Okay. The teams are going to, in the fourth quarter, the Saints just don't have it. It's going to be almost college. Like, we can't run it up on them. I hope it doesn't come to that. That's going to be a tough. It's just going to, all those things are going to come in because you can only go so deep in the well. But I think today we're going to see the best the Saints have, and that's going to be pretty darn impressive. I'm sure of that. And we talked about it Thursday night with Coach Ditka, who was the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, lived and worked in the area, got to know those people awfully well. We welcome Coach in now with our Chris Mortensen. Guys?
Thanks, Boom. Coach, it's unknown territory, but how does Jim Haslett handle this as head coach of the Saints?
Well, and everybody alluded to it, this is probably the toughest situation any football team in the history of the National Football League has ever been in. But you got to go forward, and I think what Jim has told him is this, and I heard, well, you can't win here, you can't win. Every field is 100 yards long. Every field is 53 yards wide. So these guys got to put out all the stuff out of their mind, that's all. They got to go in and they got to think about playing football more. And if they play football, they're a good enough football team to go in to Carolina today and win that football game, and I think they will.
And they did at the end of last season, as you remember, when they played in Carolina and beat the Panthers there. Now, NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue is going to travel to Baton Rouge, Louisiana with Saints owner Tom Benson on Monday, visit with LSU officials to see when that facility, if and when that facility will be ready to play and host the Saints. In the meantime, you'll hear an announcement this week that the Saints will play their next 4 home games in San Antonio, where they've headquartered, and then move to LSU, hopefully for the last 3 home games of the season. Boom.
All right, Mort, Coach, thank you very much. And as we suspected, now this is Carolina fans outside the stadium right now wishing everyone in New Orleans the best and to give to the Red Cross. We'll be back.
The new season begins, but the final chapter of the saga is yet to be written. Michael Irvin goes one-on-one with T.O. to find out what the controversial wide receiver plans to do next.
Just know when I step in Lincoln Financial Field or any other opponent's field, that I will play 181%. 181%. Believe it.
He almost called it a career, but he didn't. Brett Favre tells us the real reason he couldn't pack it in just yet. And the Jets kick off the season with high hopes, hinging on the arm of Chad Pennington. Is he ready to shoulder the load? We're on the field in Kansas City to find out. Next.
Either taking Andre Johnson, Rudy Johnson, or Keyshawn Johnson. I'm taking a Johnson.
Free fantasy football at NFL.com.
Sunday NFL Countdown is presented by Old Spice Red Zone. Smell great all day, all night. And in part by Infinity, designers of the most dynamic automobiles in the world.
Chris, it's a big week. You know, Kansas City is trying to redeem themselves from the last time we went 13-3. So this is the start of a big season, a huge season. And just for your information, check out our defense. We got a little surprise for y'all.
Priest is ready. We'll check out that defense. They certainly made some changes there. We know that with Priest Holmes healthy and everybody else, they got a lot of offense. And you know it's going to be a sea of red, as usual, at Arrowhead Stadium today as the Kansas City Chiefs host the New York Football Jets. The Chiefs still have that high-powered offense. Remember, they ranked first, not the Colts. The Chiefs ranked first in the NFL last season. But have they changed that defense? Priest said yes, but have they changed it enough to allow them to fall out of the playoffs at 7-9? The Jets remain somewhat under the radar since they reside in the Patriots neighborhood, but they shouldn't. They're coming off a 10-6 season, which saw Herm Edwards' team make the postseason for the third time in his 4 years there. Chad Pennington's shoulder repaired. Is it ready for an old-fashioned Western shootout? To Kansas City, where Ron Jaworski, of course, is always up to date. Hi, Jaws.
All right, hello, Boomer, and good morning to you. And Trent Green arriving here at Arrowhead this morning. He is in terrific shape despite having surgery on August 30th. But there could be a little bit of problems with the Chiefs' offensive line. Brian Waters suffered back spasms throughout the week. He will be a game-time decision. If he can't go, Chris Bober, normally a tackle, will move in the left guard position. But if you look at the Chiefs on offense, what they want to do, they want to attack. I believe the guy they will attack will be cornerback Ty Law. In the passing game, when you look at Sammy Parker, a 4.3 40 sprinter going deep. But the Chiefs also do a great job with their tight ends in the running game. They will force Ty Law to defend the run. But we all know the question marks here in Kansas City. It's about the defense. Can the defense show up? I spoke to Gunther Cunningham, the defense coordinator, yesterday, and he said, Ron, everyone's talking about Derek Johnson, Patrick Surtain. You watch number 99, Kendrell Bell. He's a nasty football player. He'll set the tempo for the Chiefs' defense, Boomer.
All right, Jaws, thank you. Well, we'll all see. And going after Ty Law was, by the way, Trent Green, a stent put in his leg, but there was some question whether he would go, but you saw that he's ready to go. And now the Chiefs figure, here we go again. Let's score some points. How about the Jets? A lot of buzz about the Jets. Justified, Tom?
Well, I think it's justified. There's always a little too much buzz in New York, but I think when I look at an offense, I look for the big three. I think you find them here. There's Chad Pennington, Curtis Martin, the leading rusher in the NFL, and Lavernius Cole in a system that we know where he fits. Defensively, I look for a playmaker at every level. John Abraham on the line, Jonathan Bellman, who I think will be one of the best linebackers in the league this year. And if Ty Law is even resembles the Ty Law that he was in New England, Kansas City is going to be a little bit shocked if they go after him. I think you find that guy. And then character-wise, it's Herm Edwards' team. Yep. Character-wise, you know they have character because of the guy coaching.
But they might be a little overhyped, Tom, because a lot of those guys you are talking about, there are questions about them. Let's talk about it. Chad Pennington, how well is he?
Better.
How well?
He's better.
We don't know until he gets into a real game, and how well will he pick up this offense? Lavernius Cole, it's a new offense for you, buddy. How will you do in this offense? We don't know how Ty Law...
It's a new old offense.
Well, new old offense. We don't know how well Ty Law's leg will be. We don't know. There are a lot of questions in this football team. We won't know until today. So, yes, it is better.
You seem a little defensive.
No, I'm not.
Already.
No, I'm not.
I can tell you from years of going after championships, the first thing you have to do is police your division. You look at what's happened in the 3 of the last 4 years. The Patriots have used the Jets as their springboard to the Super Bowl. Last year, we're swept. The year before, we're swept. To me, you are by definition overhyped until you start to police your own division. I know they can't do it till December, Boomer.
Yeah.
But until they beat the Patriots, don't talk to me about the Jets. I don't want to hear. Then come talk.
Oh, I forgot. Curtis Martin, 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons at, what, 30-something years old? Sooner or later, Father Time catches up with
he
everybody.
can become the first guy this year to start his career with 11,000 yards. Not Barry Sanders, not Emmitt Smith.
He's amazing.
Curtis Martin.
Right.
He is amazing.
That's
and
a lot of running.
until I see something different than I saw last year, Curtis Martin remains Curtis
I will
Martin.
say this, Mike. I will say this. When you think of Curtis Martin, think of Jerry Rice's preparation. I think Curtis Martin could play like Jerry Rice until later into his career.
But sooner or later, he's going to get a
Mark
Jordan is already.
I was tough on the Jets.
Last comment to Steve. Last comment to Steve. New England used a lot of people to springboard to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but in your own division,
I know,
you use two of them every time.
You know what? I want to elaborate on what you said. The Jets don't play New England until December, so they can get like the Flintstone mobile, you know, they can kind of get the car going pretty well before they play New England in December. They do have that chance. But I'm going to give the Flintstone mobile. Now let me give you another matchup today. Jets have a new punter. He's an Aussie Rules football all-star, Ben Graham, and a rookie kicker, Mike Cat Scratch Fever Nugent. All right? Dante Hall returns kicks and punts. Interesting to see if that factors into the game. Beware. We'll be back with more Sunday headlines and more, and we'll talk about Big Ben. Hard to top last year, but he and the Steelers are hell-bent on doing it. They open at home against Tennessee. We'll be back.
It happened to him, and any of these guys could be next. The main event, long known for its investigative journalism, examines the epidemic of quarterback impersonation. Straight ahead. Headlines, brought to you by Radio Shack.
Welcome back to Sunday NFL Countdown, and we're going to start Sunday headlines in the city of brotherly love, where, yes, Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb have finally spoken to each other, but is it a peaceful locker room? The fact that the Eagles are about $12 million under the salary cap has some veterans wondering why Corey Simon was released, why Jeremiah Trotter took less money to stay in Philly, and why Brian Westbrook publicly broke off contract negotiations this week. Here's one twist. The Eagles' cap room is budgeted to pick up an option after the season on Owens' contract, which would be worth almost $37 million over 5 years. And the bottom line, no team in the NFL has retained more of their own players over the last 5 years than Philly, and they have 19 of 22 starters under contract this year and next. Where in the world is Maurice Clarett, the Broncos' controversial third-round draft choice who was cut 2 weeks ago? How much damage has Clarett done to his already battered image? Nobody, I mean nobody, has brought Clarett in for even a physical exam and a look-see since his release. If he's bored, guess he can call Ricky Williams for some remote vacation spots. Jamal Lewis doesn't enter tonight's opener against the Colts in the most comfortable mood. Ravens coach Brian Billick conceded late this week that Lewis will share carries with Chester Taylor out of concern that Lewis is still not fully recovered from his offseason ankle surgery. The ankle surgery that he had before entering prison was basically identical to what Red Sox pitcher Curt Schilling had, and the Red Sox ace has taken a while to recover from it. Lewis is irritated because he doesn't have a new contract. The Ravens want to see Lewis run well first before they seriously entertain an extension. And Lewis believes he could have beaten a rap on those federal conspiracy drug charges, but went along with a plea bargain for a 4-month prison term to ensure his financial security with the Ravens. So that's one to watch. And oh, by the way, Boom, as if Lewis is not dealing with enough, he had a root canal this week.
Oof. Well, thank you, Mort. Now we begin the Eliminator. And since it's week 1, I know many of you folks at home are in your own Eliminator pool. You just have to pick the winner of one game. Once you use that team, you can't use it in successive weeks. So, myself and Steve were on Minnesota at home over Tampa Bay. Tommy's on the Bills in their home opener against Houston. Michael is on the Rams on the road at San Francisco. Mort is going to go with the Panthers at home against those Saints, who we know are going to give a good effort. And Mike Ditka, right into the fray, has the Chargers at home against Dallas. You win, you move on. You lose, take a seat.
Oh, I'm out.
And the .com fans pick the Rams. So, Mike, you are of the computer age. You and the .comers are together in this one.
Can I get a new picture?
Log on, log off. We'll be back.
Will it be a happy reunion in Big D for Bill Parcells and Drew Bledsoe? What the coach and the new QB expect the second time around? And preparing for the season in the face of tragedy. We'll go behind the scenes to see how Saints players and coaches are coping when we return.
NFL on ESPN. At 4, turn to ESPN News for NFL Blitz.
Old Buck, the TIE Warrior, is the nuclear bomb of cool. No stunt doubles, no computer graphics, no fear. Own it today.
New 7-Up Plus with calcium. With real fruit juice, 25% of your daily calcium and less than 25 calories per bottle. It tastes so good, you can feel it in your bones. 7-Up Plus. For great taste with calcium, the only way to go is up.
There's no feeling like M3 Power. Press the button and feel the boost in performance. Introducing M3 Power Nitro, the first battery-powered shaving system from Gillette. M3 Power with a bold new look. Press the button. Nothing shaves better. We guarantee it. Boost the performance. Feel the power of the world's closest, most comfortable shave. New M3 Power Nitro from Gillette.
Protect this house.
You beat the big guys every year. You know they can't touch you. They know they can't touch you. How does the team stay motivated?
If you don't get motivated when you put on the armor, then you ain't got a pulse, man.
It's 4th down. The ball sits at the Under Armour 10-yard line. Goliath down to its last shot.
This is Paul.
Guys, on the house.
He backtests moving averages differently than Raj, who drags and drops nothing like Ann, who trades options a lot more often than Hal, who places conditional orders differently than George, who celebrates in his own special way. And thanks to Fidelity Active Trader Services, they all get power, price, service, no compromises.
Let's go.
Trading with Fidelity. Smart move.
Good job, good job. 15, I need to talk to you, son. I need a
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear. Just call 877-NFL-SHOP. For a free team catalog, go to NFL Shop on NFL.com or call 877-NFL-SHOP.
Is Derek Jeter the best shortstop ever?
Well, in the pantheon of Yankee shortstops, I definitely put him ahead of Scooter and Crissetti. Yeah, his limited power drags down his OPS a little, but he's still one of the most clutch hitters of all time. He turns that mean 6'4" and he's got the soft hands of Honus Wagner, and even Boston fans call him Captain Intangible.
How do you know he has soft hands?
Classic Men with host Josh Elliott, 7 and 11 p.m. every weeknight, only on ESPN Classic.
If you don't have ESPN Classic, get Classic now.
Welcome back to Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Old Spice Red Zone.
Our ESPN game tonight at 8:30, rings of old-time football. Colts at Baltimore. Peyton Manning and company come to town with an offense that surely would make the late Johnny Unitas proud. A league-leading 522 points scored last year, many of them courtesy, of course, of Manning's record-breaking 49 TD passes. But the Colts' 12-4 season unwound at New England in the playoffs again. This time they scored only 3. They start their quest again at a Ravens team that missed the playoffs, but they were 9-7. Not happy that they were replaced, though, as NFC North champs by the Pittsburgh Steelers. There are players on every team in the NFL with strong ties to the Bayou and with heavy hearts. None more so than the Manning family. Peyton and brother Eli, the Giants quarterback, were among those who flew into the region to help the Red Cross dole out supplies, a scene they won't forget.
We've seen the tsunami situation, and we've seen hurricanes in other places, and it always strikes a chord. But when you see it in your hometown, it shouldn't be that way. But it definitely gets more personal.
Well, Hurricane Katrina's fury will be felt by hundreds of thousands of people forever. How New Orleans and its surrounding areas on the Louisiana and Mississippi coast get back on their feet is a daunting, monumental task, to say the very least. Homes, businesses, jobs, everything has been turned upside down. Among the minority that still have their New Orleans jobs, the Saints moved en masse, as we talked earlier, to San Antonio, trying to move back into the world of football amidst all the tragedy. Ed Werder has been with them.
I feel strange. I feel change.
a dire situation down there. I mean, it actually looks, you know, like a third world country in some parts.
The city the Saints represent has been decimated by one of the greatest natural disasters in American history. Relocated to San Antonio, the Saints have spent nearly as much time this week attempting to make life more bearable for some evacuees as they have practicing for their season opener.
Y'all getting the stuff you need? You've been watching the whole episode unfold on TV, but when you actually walk in and see 2,000 people sleeping on 5x3 cots, it just humbles you in a way that I think people that with means just don't understand.
Many Saints players spent their only day off this week, one that could have been used to find homes for themselves, visiting less fortunate people in local shelters. Not wanting to arrive empty-handed, the players first stopped at a Walmart store where they encountered others who had been displaced. Tight end Ernie Conwell was approached by a man with a desperate request. The man told Conwell he and his fiancée lost their wedding rings in the hurricane and that he was going to spend all of his remaining money to replace them. But still, he didn't have enough.
The rings right there. And you're going to go help surprise your wife?
Yeah, I got 150 on the ring.
Yeah, come on, I'll go with you. And here's this gentleman, you know, reaching in his pockets, pulling out everything he has, you know, his last bit of finances to try to give me. And, you know, obviously, you can't take somebody's money like that. So, you know, we just made sure that I took care of him for that. It's amazing how, you know, life just goes on. And, you know, the guy was smiling, his fiancée, you know, she was thankful, and it really blessed me more than them. You know, the saying is it's better to give than to receive.
Meanwhile, Pro Bowl receiver Joe Horn was in another part of the store.
See the guys have shorts and underwear and socks and deodorant and shower gel, stuff like that, toothbrush. But I looked to the side and I saw roses, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I think a flower or a rose will brighten up their heart. There you go, baby. Yeah, there you go, all right. There you go, baby, all right. Y'all be good, okay?
The experience of helping some of the people suffering the most has been cathartic for the Saints. Players who initially questioned the importance of playing football in the aftermath of such a tragedy were convinced that their season had more purpose now than before.
The mood is they want us to win football games. They still want us to play. And I was shocked because I thought football was the furthest thing from their mind right now.
Win the games for us here.
We're going to do that. We're going to represent on the football field. Y'all just hold on.
It made me feel like, hey, I should go out on Sunday and play as hard as I can and get the other guys to, you know, not worry about winning or losing, but go out with the effort of the people that actually went through what they did.
Overcome by you.
Reflecting on an entire week spent with the Saints team, I think the most profound remark came from wide receiver Joe Horn. When I asked him about the looting that had taken place in the aftermath of the hurricane, he said if they were stealing liquor or weapons, then that was wrong. But if they were stealing to survive, taking food and clothing because their kids were sleeping on a bridge with mosquitoes and snakes, then that was all right. He said, quote, if breaking into my house and stealing my flat screen off the wall, walking through 6 feet of water helps your family survive, then have it. If my house is open, strip it. Boomer, an extraordinary statement.
Absolutely. Extraordinary times, certainly, Ed. Thank you very much. And certainly the Saints, not to mention everybody in the Bayou, has had to summon more strength and courage than can be expected, really, of anybody. We salute all of those doing their outright best. Many of those folks in New Orleans and throughout the Bayou have been displaced to Houston, at least for now. Many of them will be watching the Saints on TV today. Our George Smith is with them outside the Astrodome. George?
Well, Boomer, inside the Astrodome, the entire length of what used to be the football field is covered with cots. There are still more than 5,000 evacuees here in Reliant Park. Many of them, as you mentioned, Saints fans. They will be able to watch the games inside the Astrodome and at the Reliant Center next door. Now, last night I talked to one man, David Cummings of New Orleans. He was lying on a cot. All he has left in the world is a plastic bag full of clothes. But he was wearing a Saints cap, and he smiled when he told me he was looking forward to watching this game just for a few hours of fun. And Boomer, the last thing he said to me as I walked away, why can't we go to the Super Bowl? Still a true Saints fan.
Well, that's great, George. Thank you very much. And anybody out there, and we urge you to think about it, you can help the victims of Hurricane Katrina by donating to the American Red Cross. You can call 1-800-HELP-NOW. That's 1-800-HELP-NOW. Please consider it. Well, there's Joe Horn, who's been a mountain among the men on the New Orleans Saints, trying to get his mind on football today as the Saints are in Carolina. We'll be back with more on Sunday NFL Countdown.
An offseason of turmoil spills into the new season. Michael Irvin goes deep with T.O. Why he's been giving some of his teammates the silent treatment. Plus, good riddance? Or will Dante Culpepper and the Vikings soon be missing Moss? Plus, can a new quarterback lead the Bills on a stampede towards the playoffs? The Tip Drill is next.
It's the best time of the year, when maybe next year becomes maybe this year. It's Peyton Manning and the Colts taking on Ray Lewis and the Ravens. Sunday Night Football, Colts-Ravens, tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN.
The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. There's Michael and Jimbo and that one guy you know. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. No, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Yeah. Ooh, that's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah.
I was almost beating my high score, and then the remote.
Some things never change.
Look at this kid.
Hi,
Spence. What's going on, man? How you been?
Shut up, buddy. How's the Army treating you? It's good. It's real good.
What do they got you doing? Like jumping out of planes? Or?
No, I'm working with computers.
Oh.
Computers? Well, you could have done that here, right?
Yeah.
What's the setting?
0439 Zulu.
We're good. Not really.
Get strength for now, strength for later. Learn more at GoArmy.com.
Hey guys, big news for men with ED. The Cialis Promise Program. Here's the deal. Try Cialis for the first time free. They're so confident you'll like Cialis. If you don't, they'll pay for a sample of the ED tablet of your choice. That's the Cialis Promise. Get details at Cialis.com. See how having up to 36 hours lets you choose when the moment is right. Cialis is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. As with any ED tablet, men who experience an erection for more than 4 hours should seek immediate medical attention to avoid long-term injury. Discuss your health status and medications, including alpha blockers, with your doctor, and ask if Cialis is right for you. Discover the Cialis Promise Program. Are you ready?
Well, you never know when you might encounter a beer without character. That's why we test our recruits for every situation.
Great tasting, less filler, middle light.
No, we're not superheroes. More like ministers of culture.
Intentional taste man.
Character, substance, personal style. A lot of people have great taste and don't even know it. We help them see their potential.
Intentional taste mask.
Intentional taste mask.
Don't cry on me.
I teach taste. That's what I do.
Character.
Don't miss ESPN News Fantasy Break at 4:30 and 7:30, presented by Chevrolet.
Welcome back, everybody, and now our tip drill. Some quick hitters on some of the day's intriguing ball games and areas to pay attention to. In Minnesota, the Randy Moss-less Vikings look to improve on their 8-8 yet wildcard team status of a year ago. Fast starts for the Vikings, no problem. They were 5-1 out of the gates last year, remember? Into the Metrodome come the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 12-20 since they won that Super Bowl in 2002. Michael, Vikes have a better defense, but how will Culpepper do without Moss?
Boom, the Vikes are about to embark upon a new era. And in that era, they will be led by the guys behind me, Dante Culpepper and wide receiver Nate Burleson. 6 receptions, 1,006 yards, 9 TDs. Look for the Vikings to enjoy their new leadership.
And Culpepper is certainly the leader of that squad, undaunted. The NFC West champion, Mike, the Seattle Seahawks, 9-7 a year ago, fly into the heat of Jacksonville to face a Jaguars team that had the same record as the Seahawks a year ago, but in the tougher AFC, that meant they missed the playoffs. Jacksonville had the knack last year of winning games late with quarterback Byron Leftwich, while the Seahawks' lasting image was one of late losses and of dropped passes. Steve, come on, Seattle, let's go.
Boomer, Seattle was the sexy Super Bowl pick from last year, but fell well short because of what you see behind me, mental mistakes and drop passes. They can start a mental makeover this week as they go on the road in a tough environment in Jacksonville against a stingy defense.
Tough game, Steve, that's for sure. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans, they've improved their record in each of their first 3 seasons. But after their 7-9 finish, there's some pressure now for them to be a contender. They're in Buffalo today, where there is loads of playoff excitement after all. The Bills still have their second-ranked defense and their record-setting, that's right, Bills special teams from their 9-7 season a year ago. And now, second-year quarterback J.P. Lossman starts for the departed Drew Bledsoe. Tommy, tale of 2 quarterbacks in this game?
Absolutely, Boom. A game that Steve would love. David Carr in his 4th season with the Houston Texans. That team looking for him and the team to take the next step forward, 500 or better season. And then for the Buffalo Bills, J.P. Lossman, along with Willis McGahee, looking to restore the glory days to the Buffalo Bills. As you would say, they're circling the wagons in Buffalo.
One at a time you circle the wagons, Tom, that's for sure. They're excited up there for sure. Beautiful day for football up there. Joining us every Sunday here on Countdown is John Madden, fresh off Monday Night Football's Thursday opener in New England. Did he see a difference in the defending champions as they beat the Raiders?
To me, they still look like the best team in football, and you know, of course, there are changes. And to me, the biggest change was, you know, you always think of the Patriots as a 3-man line team. They played the Raiders, and they played them mostly in a 4-man line. They played them very effectively. I mean, I think Richard Seymour, as a defensive lineman and as a defensive tackle, he's excellent. And then, you know, you have those 2 outside linebackers, Vrabel and McGinnis, and then that secondary, and you know, and they're very good on defense. And then you look at Tom Brady. I mean, he's something special, and he's not gonna change. At the end of last season, they were the best team in the NFL. And I think at the start of this season, they're still the best team in the NFL. I think DeMarcus Ware is going to have a real impact with the Cowboys this year because they're changing from a 4-man line to a 3-man line. You think of Bill Parcells' defense, and you think of the 3-man line, and you think of the edge player, it's Lawrence Taylor. I mean, Lawrence Taylor was the greatest edge player ever, and I know that that's what Bill Parcells is looking for. Now, I'm not saying that DeMarcus Ware is Lawrence Taylor. I mean, he's not Lawrence Taylor, but he's that type of player that can come off that edge, come off it quickly, put on a pass rush, chase down a run, and do those kinds of things.
All right, John, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to visit with you. And, of course, we'll visit with you and Al, the Monday Night Crew, the Eagles and the Falcons on ABC at 9 Eastern, Monday Night Countdown here at ESPN at 7:30 tomorrow night. We'll be back.
Will Eli Manning's bad elbow hurt the start of his 2nd season? Steve Young shows us exactly how the QB's performance will be affected. Sophomore jinx? Or will Big Ben come up even bigger for the Steelers this season? We're on the field in Pittsburgh next.
Watch the Monday Night Football opening. See which city the GMC vehicle is visiting. Then go to GMCRoadRun.com for a chance to win a Sierra Denali.
Dad,
I got an A in advanced physics.
This is very disappointing.
Dad.
You're burning through our wireless minutes again. We need to talk.
Dad, it's just...
This wireless bill is out of control.
Not enough minutes on your family's wireless plan?
10 calls in one day?
Come to T-Mobile, where families get more whenever minutes to share. Nice dress.
Families talk free and get the most whenever minutes.
T-Mobile, get more minutes.
Capital One M Games. Buzz Jackson here with my old colleague, Flip McLean. We'll be covering this year's Capital One M Games.
Bringing you the best in mascot competition.
From the challenging to the dramatic.
Oh my God.
As our talented mascots compete for the 2005 Capital One Mascot of the Year. Vote for your favorite college mascot at CapitalOneBowl.com and watch the Capital One Bowl to see who wins.
What's in your wallet?
The whole set.
On Sunday, the game comes alive. Pro football, the game for the ear and the eye. A 3-hour carnival of color, sound, and action.
NFL Sunday Ticket provides the most NFL games anywhere, up to 200 in total, and it's only available from DirecTV.
For the player, victory makes the game glorious. For the fan, glory is the game.
Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS to order or go to directvsports.com/NFL for more details.
Transform your television by adding over 20 exciting channels of awesome entertainment, amazing sports, and fascinating educational programming. Just upgrade your Total Choice package into Total Choice Plus for as little as $4 more per month. Get more out of your television. Visit DirecTV.com today.
Welcome back to Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Old Spice Red Zone.
4 years ago today, the unspeakable happened on 9/11. New York and all of America rallied the best way they could with heart and determination. One way it was visible when pro football resumed. The New York teams were on the road. Remember, the Giants were in Kansas City and got a hero's welcome. That same day, the Jets and Herm Edwards were in New England, where they got a hero's welcome as the fire department and the police departments of the cities were honored. Mort, as the NFL opens on 9/11, what are some of the planned observances around the league today?
Boom, there will be a league-wide remembrance of 9/11. In the early openers, all eyes will be on the nation's capital, where Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey will sing America the Beautiful prior to those early kickoffs. But clearly the most emotional ceremony will be in New York at Giant Stadium in a late afternoon game. Families of victims of 9/11, our heroes from the New York Fire and Police Departments and Port Authority will combine to join to hold the American flag during the national anthem. And there also is going to be a moment of silence, not only for those 9/11 victims, Boom, but for those military personnel who have lost their lives in the Middle East, as well as those victims of Hurricane Katrina.
Yes, and that poignant, to say the very, very least, Mort. Thank you. The Giants game, as Mort said, a late afternoon kickoff against Arizona. The game itself, Eli Manning gets his first opening day start against, oddly enough, the man he replaced as Giants starter, Kurt Warner. He's back in the Meadowlands as the new starter for the Arizona Cardinals, a team playing in what appears to be a weak division. So as crazy as it sounds, the Arizona Cardinals, that's right, Arizona, being predicted in some quarters to win the NFC West in Denny Green's second season in the desert. It's also Tom Coughlin's second season in New York, but with Philly looming in that division, the NFC East, no such predictions are forthcoming. Both teams 6-10 a year ago. Now to our Staples playmaking made easy field, the art of throwing with a bad elbow, as Eli Manning has. Steve, what can and can't he do today?
Well, Mr. Berman, let me tell you, there's two kinds of throwers. There's shoulder throwers and wrist throwers. The only big difference is wrist throwers use their wrist at the last part of the throw to direct the football. Eli Manning is a shoulder thrower like John Elway. I was a wrist thrower like Joe Montana and Tom Brady. The fact that you're a shoulder thrower tells me that you have to be a guy that gets his feet set. Guys, can you help me with some directions here? Mike, you got a crossing route. Tom's going to have a crossing route. Coach is going to have a long ball. For Eli Manning today, very important to get his feet moving, to take the pressure off, the stress off his elbow so that he can be accurate and get the ball back. Go ahead. You be first, Tom. If he doesn't move his feet, and as he crosses the thing, he's going to put stress on that arm, and that could be a really problem for the elbow. Same thing the other way. Drop back, don't move your feet, come across your body, stress on the arm. Long ball the same way. You get set up here and want to throw a long ball across your body, stress on the arm. Eli Manning today, very important that he gets his feet moving like his brother does such a good job, because as he uses that shoulder, it'll put stress on that elbow if the feet aren't going.
And the thing I wonder is will the missed time with that elbow cost him at least early on in this season, this first game? I think it's a test physically and it's a test mentally as well.
But Tom, you also know that there is no greater improvement than the improvement made between that first year and second year. And Eli, like you said, his brother paid. I'm sure he got with his brother and they watched film all off season long.
Well, the elbow is not going to be his biggest problem. The Cardinals defense are going to be his biggest problem today.
You like the Cardinal defense?
Yep.
All right, Mr. Berman, that's it from here.
Mr. Berman, boy, finally acquired some status here from all that Hall of Fame crew over there. Well, certainly Eli, the first draft pick of a year ago. There was a third quarterback drafted named Ben Roethlisberger by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And remember week 2, he was thrown into the fire as Pittsburgh starter. Tommy Maddox knocked out in a loss to Baltimore. Uh-oh, here we go, rookie quarterback. Well, maybe not. 13 regular season and 1 playoff starts later, Big Ben was still undefeated, carrying that amazing streak all the way to the AFC Championship game when they lost to the Patriots. Of course, he had plenty of help, a battering running game, not to mention the top-ranked defense overall, the top-ranked defense against the run, top-ranked defense in points allowed. The Steelers and Big Ben begin anew at home against an old rival, Tennessee, who because of salary cap hell appear to be just a shadow of their former selves. To the big ketchup bottle, Heinz Field, and Uncle Wethby, Sal Palantonio. Hi, Sal.
Good morning, Chris. Spectacular day here in Pittsburgh, and all eyes are on Ben Roethlisberger in his sophomore year. But this is the Burgh, and it's the home of power football. Last year, the Steelers ran the ball 61% of the time, which is more than any other team in the NFL since the Chicago Bears. But without Jerome Bettis and without Deuce Staley today, Willie Parker will make his first NFL start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that means only one thing for the Tennessee Titans on defense. Stop Parker and force Ben Roethlisberger to try to beat them. That's what they will try to do from Tennessee's standpoint on defense. From an offensive standpoint, well, Steve McNair last year had his worst year as a pro. First time in his NFL career that he threw more interceptions than touchdowns. Thus, Norm Chow was hired as the offensive coordinator. And I've talked to a lot of people around the organization for the Titans, and they said this is what Norm Chow has tried to do all of the offseason and preseason. Cut back on the verbiage, tighten up the protection, keep Steve McNair upright. He missed half the season with injuries last year. Get the ball out more quickly, reduce the number of 7-step drops in their offense, and make McNair more effective. They do have Chris Brown healthy. Travis Henry was banged up during the preseason, but he'll get about 10 to 12 carries, I'm told today, Boomer. But it's all about Big Ben and that Steelers offense today.
All right, Sal, thank you very much. Enjoy the game. And well, I mean, okay, so improve Eli year 2. Hard to improve one loss with Ben. Yeah. What are we going to see out of him, Steve?
Well, I hope we see the same thing.
19-0? That can't happen.
I want to see what we've seen last year. I think the enticement will be to kind of open up the field and let Ben start to take control of the field. I think he needs to stay in control, use his great running game, not so much today, but a great defense, stingy defense. And I think that Coach Cowher will stay away from what he did at the end of the season last year in the playoff game by opening it up. He saw what happened. The thing I'm most worried about is Ben, keeping Ben in check from opening up the whole field. It's a little young in his career to do that, and I think he'd get into trouble.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned the right guy. Coach Cowher is the guy who's going to control Ben Roethlisberger, and if he takes advantage of the fact that he has a defense that won't make him pay for every mistake that he makes, if he takes advantage of the fact that he's only going to have to throw the ball 20, 22, 23 times a game, they're not depending on him to win the game. You're talking about a team that ran the ball 618 times last year. 618. Most teams think 500 is too much. So you're talking about a team that's saying just handle your end of things and we can be in the same spot. I think he'll improve. It won't show in the record. He's not going to win 13 regular season games in a row. But I think that, as you mentioned about that curve, First year, second year, he's going to be a better player in his second year.
And how, which Ben will show up. It's the same Ben that we always knew. He's cool hand Luke. He'll sit back and he'll make the plays. He'll make a few big plays when he needs to, but we don't have to worry. And I think everybody's probably panicking because you see him in the preseason and he doesn't look real good. But the preseason is the time to try new stuff.
Well,
when the regular season starts,
the end of the year as well.
I'm kind of panicked for what I saw from the coaching staff in the biggest game of the year last year.
I know
they put it on. Ben, you go do this.
But they got behind against
7-0.
They got behind.
Yeah, they scored 7-0. What I'm saying is, by reading what Ben has to say about during the offseason, I'm worried that Ben might start to think, I'm ready, open up the field, put it on my shoulders, let me go after it. I think it's a little early for that.
He is a lunch. He's not a prima donna to begin with, so all the success, he's easily to get back, I think, to the lunch pail. It's about us, not about me thing. One little note on Tennessee. They have a very tough September schedule, but, you know, a healthy Steve McNair, Jeff Fisher understands what's going on. It'll be interesting to see this team, the new offense at Chow, interesting to see this team develop way off the radar with a former co-MVP, Steve McNair. We'll be back.
Back for more. Why Brett Favre couldn't walk away from Green Bay, and how close he really came to hanging up number 4 forever.
And so at the end of the season, I said, you know, there's no sense in me coming back to play if I'm going to, treat this season like I've treated the last 2 years.
Plus, Michael Irvin talks to T.O. and gets to the very bottom of the preseason mess in Philadelphia.
It's not that I hate Donovan. I love Donovan. I don't hate him at all.
Playmaking made easy. Brought to you by Staples.